Okay, so we've done dash cam reviews in the past, actually a lot of them, and I'm a fan of dash cams. I think everybody should have a dash cam, but you know, I've been always interested in seeing companies that kind of push dash cams, just make them better, give them just more, right? Something that's more gives us more protection, I guess. And these guys here, Akeeyo, I think it is, they had their last camera, kind of was like a 360-ish camera, right? So it was two cameras that shot like 200 degrees each, so you could really kind of see everything. So I thought that was pretty cool. But today we're looking at this one, and this one's currently on Kickstarter from these guys. And this one actually comes, I think you can get it with 2 cameras or you can get it with 4 cameras. And again, the 4 camera system, pretty crazy. Front, you have one that goes in your back window for sure, so you could use that to shoot forward as well, or backwards, or you could put it on your on the outside of your car, so you could shoot, you know, use it as like a rear view license plate kind of camera. But it comes with 2 side mirror cameras or side cameras. So you get 4 cameras, 4 channel. We've done 3, 4 channels that just can shoot everything. Now that one that goes in the back window, my guess is really you could put it anywhere. So if you were like, I don't care about that because I have, maybe you already have a rear view camera, right? A lot of new cameras or new cars have that. Maybe I just want to place that up at the front so it shoots inside the dash. So you could, well, really you could put it anywhere you choose. The key here is those 2 side ones. So we're going to take a look at their Kickstarter. We're going to take a look at what comes in the box, and I'm going to attempt to install this. You're not going to see the install, but we will take it out for a couple drives just so we can see how the cameras perform. Yeah. Okay, so this is it right now. It's a Kickstarter. It just started when I'm filming this. You guys will see it a couple days later. But it comes with, and I can't tell, based on the box, it's hard to tell. It is heavy. It comes with this huge screen, like it's a huge screen. Front camera, rear camera. Again, you could use the rear camera in the back, or you could have it just facing inside the dash. Left camera and right camera. Now, the key here is you can get it either, I think, 2 silvers, 2 blacks, or 1 of each. The right one, or the black one, sorry, the black one, you can have it, it's movable, but it can't go outside, right? So it has to kind of sit, I think, I'm not 100% sure, you guys can check it out, but it's designed so you can put it inside the car. The left one, or the silver one here, as in the picture, has to go outside the car. So you can put it, like, you can mount it to the door, you can mount it under the mirror, but you'll get a really nice down the side of your car. So if you're looking at like blind spot and things like that, that could be cool. Now, when these guys reached out to me to ask me if I'd like to test this, they asked which I'd like, and I just went with all black because I don't want any wires kind of going in. And you can probably hide the wires through the door hinges and all that kind of stuff, but that just seemed like a lot of wiring for me, so I went with just the 2 black ones, which I can put on the dash. So there's going to be cameras all over the place. The big one for me is, honestly, just the size of the screen. I'm just trying to figure out if I think that's going to be really cool, or if I think that's going to be just like, is that just obnoxiously large, right? Especially if you have it on your dash. Is it going to be distracting? So I'm curious. Coming through here, you can see 4 cameras record at the same time without blind spots. Very cool. 5.5-inch screen. GPS, mirror, you can flip it, rotate it, all kinds of stuff. Wide dynamic range, emergency recording, continuous recording, turn assists, reverse assists. Fit for anything with a 12 volt to 24 volt. Super capacitor, full HD 1080p. Now you're probably wondering, why didn't they do 4K? Well, if you have to record 4 streams of 1080p onto an SD card, and probably just the processor speed to be able to do that, probably not something that's overly likely. So this should be okay. A lot of videos on their Kickstarter, which is good, right? Front A pillar, left and right zones, and, you know, depending on where you want to put it. So, as I said, this rear camera can be rear, or it could be shooting inside if you're maybe you're like an Uber driver or something like that, right? You can place that wherever you want. so much stuff. Front left, see how they have it here? Maybe you can see that on the door or under the mirror. The rear one, yep, cool. But the black one can go inside. All right, you guys can check out this. You can do that. This is the box. Akeeyo AKY Z3GT. All the kind of stuff we talked about. This box is all in like, I don't know, Chinese or some Asian language. They did send me an English manual, so my guess is if there's not an English manual in here, upon release there will be an option. If not, maybe a downloadable option for the English manual. But I am very much looking forward to this because I think this will be one of the most complete 4 channels, right? The only thing they could do now more is make a 5-channel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then internal. And I'm sure that'll come up. Oh, that's not too big. I was expecting this to be massive, but 5.5. It definitely does have. That's weird. It definitely does have some thickness to it, right? A little bit of girth. Girth, I guess, is the word. A lot of cooling. There's going to be all your buttons. I'm sure the menus will come up on the screen. Tripod mount at the bottom if you want to mount it that way. And it has a little slidey doey. A good thick cable. How does this even happen? Okay, and a ton of stuff. My goodness. Okay. I'm hoping this, I don't know what this red, I think this red one here, my thoughts is that this one here is somehow going to, because they do say they have a kit that includes like, it can be continuously powered, so like wired into your car so that you can just have it so it's recording while you're parked, etc., etc. Kinds of little I'm guessing like almost like weather stripping stuff, and I'm maybe this is for. I see you'd run all your cables through there. Either way, because it's a lot of cables. I'm thinking this is for the outside, maybe, so that you can make sure the cables are protected. Oh my gosh, so much stuff, so much stuff. Okay, so these are the little. You guys may be able to see them, right? It's the black camera, and you can see the camera can rotate. So that's good. So I'm glad they sent me the right one. So that's a side camera. This is the GPS unit. Okay. This is a whole bunch of cable. I'm guessing that's for powering it all the time. That is your 12-volt cigarette lighter style. This is going to be, my guess, because of the amount of cable, rear camera is my guess right there. This is front camera. Yes, front camera, I think. This is the mount for this, for the screen. Mount for the screen. And the other black one. Plus a whole bunch of other little sticky things. I think this, if you wanted to, you could stick this to something. See how there's like a little sticky on it? And a little piece here. I think that maybe be able to slide maybe in here. Maybe, I'm not 100% sure. And then you have a tucking tool, a little tucking tool, and a manual. And like I said, this manual, all 100% Chinese. So I do have an English manual that they sent me. Again, my hope is that if you buy one of these, they will have the English manual either as a download or like I got, or they'll include both the English and the Chinese one in the actual box. But I'm going to go outside and spend the next little while installing this. And then I'm going to drive around for the next day or two. And my card filled up. Anyways, I'm going to spend the next day or two just kind of driving around with this installed, hopefully. And then we can take a look at the footage and I'll let you know what I think of the install and, of course, picture quality and the unit as a whole. All right, I'll be back. The video is continued, so don't go anywhere. Okay, so it's about 24 hours later, and I've had a chance to go out and install the dash cam. I don't have it here or anything like that, so I don't need this top camera going. So I want to give you my thoughts on it, basically after using it for the day, going through the install. So first off, I only installed 3 cameras because really I just wanted to see what the side cameras were like for video. I wanted to see what the front facing camera was like for video and the rear facing camera. And first off, with the install, be really aware if you're looking at this system. It's just a lot of cables. It really is. It's just so much cabling that you have to do, and you know, power. A lot of these cameras, you know, if you want them to work properly, have like a wiring that will have to be wired in. It doesn't just go through like the 12-volt adapter. So there's a lot of cabling that you have to do. I literally just had cabling all over the car just because I test dash cam so often that I wasn't going to cable it. But if you get this camera, be sure that you really want it, because cabling is going to be a bit of a concern because it's a lot of it. And some of the cabling, for instance, the cable that comes out of the monitor itself, like it's a big, thick cable. So figuring out where to kind of store this, and that's kind of why I think that they had those rubber pieces, like these guys here. This may be to hide that cable, because there's no way you're kind of tucking it in and around your car. So you kind of have this that you kind of place somewhere that you can maybe run that cable through. It's the only thing I can think of, because like I said, you got like this big cable, you got 4 cameras coming in, you got like, it's just a lot. Now, video quality. I found the video quality to be decent, but I found it to be very over sharpened. Like the over sharpening was way up. Now I don't know if there's a setting. I looked around for it in the settings. I tried to find something that would allow me to lower the sharpening, but I couldn't find anything. So the sharpening is cranked right up, and that's really, it seems, on all cameras. Right now, the side camera, I do like the fact that it's movable. Now you can like spin the camera. It's almost like a ball mount style on the black side mount cameras. It'll let you go almost all the way around, not completely. If you do want to like flip it both horizontally and vertically, you do that in the actual screen where it actually has all the settings, and you can do horizontal invert or vertical invert or stuff like that, which is what I ended up doing. And really just kind of figure out where you want to place it to get the best look. Where I placed it, probably not the best, but it works, right? It works. It got this shot out the side, etc., etc. That's what you want. Now, the other weird thing I find, for me at least, maybe I couldn't figure it out. The most cameras you can kind of see is 3. You can only see the maximum of, again, that I can see on the screen is 3. But you have 4 cameras, so I don't understand why you can't. There's not an option for showing all 4. Maybe I'm missing something, but I couldn't find it. I don't know. Now, when you get into nighttime, where the sun is starting to go down, again on all the cameras, they actually seem to do better, at least in my opinion, when the sun starts going down. They seem to handle like the sharpening and all that kind of stuff much better than I expected them to. So when you get into that, you know, just after sunset, getting into dark, the image quality actually I thought was better than it was during the day. So during the day, of course, you can see everything, but that over sharpening for me was just like, wow, that's a lot of sharpening. At nighttime, maybe it's because there's a little bit more noise and stuff like that being introduced into the video, but the sharpening seems to lower. And because of that, I found that the image actually looked a bit better. It doesn't seem to have any kind of infrared or anything like that for like true nighttime recording, at least not that I saw. It never switched. It stayed in color the whole time. That's good, I guess. So yeah, the rear view looked great. The front looked good. The side looked fine. It exposed. I was a little concerned with the side that it would have issues like exposing, because I had the window, but a fair bit of inside as well in it. But yeah, it did fine. It does come with a 32 gig card. Now I'm sure the card is just fast enough that it's for the setup. It's like a no-name 32 32 gig card, but it was in the camera or in the monitor already. And that brings me to the monitor. Monitor quality, fine. It was fine. It was good. But here's my thing. And you've probably seen me talk about this in previous Dashcam videos. I like to kind of get the camera up and out of the way so I don't see it. And because I don't want that distraction. This is a fairly big screen. And, you know, I was trying to figure out where to put it, and I ended up putting it off to my left in the driver's seat over here, hoping that as I'm driving, you know, because most of the time I'm scanning kind of this way, right, that it wouldn't be very much of a distraction. But I was continuously looking at it, and maybe that's me, but it's just so big, and it takes up a lot of your dash space that it's hard not to look at it. And I think that can be a little bit of a concern. So I like the concept of having this. Maybe if your car has a spot that you can kind of put the screen so that it's kind of out of the way, maybe not in your line of sight, that would be better. But yeah, I think I like the idea of the screen, but I find when you're driving, having a screen like that, not great. Which is why a lot of dash cameras, you know, they have a little screen, which is cool, and then it, you know, it turns off within like 30 seconds or something like that. So what do I think of it? I think if you're looking for something that gives you as many cameras as possible, this is kind of cool, for sure. I want to love it, but I'm not sure if I do. I'm not sure if I do. If you ask me if I'm going to keep this in my car, I'm going to say I'll keep it in there for a little bit longer just to see what I think of. But there's some other dash cams that I've used in the past that I think just, they're more basic, right? They're easier to hide the cables. They're super easy to just connect. You just one cable plug in, one cable to the rear camera, and that's it. It's just like two cables. Super easy to cable manage. Those are things I think you have to think about when you buy this. But as a complete unit, and maybe especially if you're looking at something as a company where you need that like outdoors and down the side for recording, then yeah, I think it's pretty cool. But just realize, as someone that's buying something like this, a lot of install, and the other thing too, it records in a TS file format. So for those of us, I know at least on a Mac, it's you can't play it out of the box. At least I couldn't. So I had to actually convert all those files to something that the Mac could actually read. Now I don't know on Windows, but at least on Mac, that .ts was a little bit of a pain. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave you there. You saw some footage of the 3 cameras that I installed. Hopefully you get an idea of what this looks like, and you guys can make up your mind if you think this is the dash cam for you. I will leave links below if you guys are interested to their Kickstarter. And that's it for me today. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the little notification bell, and we will see you guys next video. Later, my friends.